Welcome back, everybody. It's Sport Federation TV. We keep looking at sport in the province, and if you've just joined us, welcome. You'll be in for some fascinating sports stories from the Western Cape today. Well, if you watched a few weeks back, you would have known that we had a conversation with Western Cape Darts. Western Cape Darts is, of course, part of the national code, Darts South Africa. And in the Western Cape, we have the Western Cape Darts Federation. And they're busy with some fantastic initiatives together with the Department of Basic Education. And joining me on the line now is Alister Porthen. Alister is from Western Cape Darts. Alister, welcome back.
Thanks for having me, JP.
It's great to be chatting with you again, and it's always great to speak to darts. We know that you guys are very active. You're always having competitions, and you have a lot of participants, and it looks like you're always having a lot of fun playing darts.
Yes, the program, the 180 plus program, is a development program for schools, and the idea was just to let all our kids across the Western Cape participate and give them another option, another opportunity for another code of sport to be introduced at schools.
So let's just talk about that a little bit. I mean, before we talk about the 180 plus program, darts is of course active across the country. A lot of people play darts. It's known generally as a social sport, but it's also a very competitive sport. You have some high level competitions.
Yes, JP. Darts has grown tremendously within the last, say, 20, 30 years. Our membership has increased, and obviously, COVID had a big impact on our growing popularity. But yes, Darts South Africa is our national body, and we are represented in all provinces. And now we've started forming partnerships with the Department of Education, getting schools on board. Yes, so our
I think
membership has grown, the popularity has grown, and we are past the stage of playing social darts. We're now in the competitive business of playing darts at schools and at club and district level.
so. Tell me a little bit about that. How does that work at schools? I mean, when we think about school sport, we think about tennis and rugby and softball and volleyball and all these. Darts is slightly different. Um, this is a new introduction now into the world of schools. I mean, this is a fantastic opportunity.
Yes, JP. With all the other codes, the popular codes like soccer and rugby, aquatic sports and tennis and so on, darts is offered the Department of Education and our learners another look at and another approach at sports. Um, we, we have an holistic approach of coaching at schools, and we formed a partnership with the Department of Educations and schools in particular, where our registered and affiliated dart players throughout Western Cape, they do the coaching and they introduce the code at schools, and they do the coaching and they manage and direct the program with my assistance, of course.
So, how does it work? Do the kids go after school and put on their darts clothing, and they get their darts and their dartboard? Explain to us a little bit like a ground level for the moms and dads that are watching now, that if their kids start playing darts, how does it work?
Uh, well, we have 12 associations
Right.
across Western Cape, and we are affiliated to the Western Cape Darts Federation. So you have coaches and players at all the associations and districts.
Yeah.
Um, we contact the schools or the
Right.
Department of Education at Richmond offices in a particular region, and we tell them that we're offering darts as a code of sport to our kids at schools, and we will then go to the schools and do coaching and training. And normally on a Wednesday is a school sports day. So we
Yes.
would normally go and do workshops and training and coaching on a Wednesday. And with lots of support from our fellow players across Western Cape. We also have workshops and coaching and training on a Saturday,
Right.
and that is in our time at no cost to the Department of Education at schools. So big ups to all the dart players throughout Western Cape.
And where would they go from there? I mean, if once you get your kids quite active and becoming quite good at playing darts, what comes next? Do they then aim for getting into a club or a provincial team, or they aim to go to the World Championships?
JP, darts is one of the few sport over the last 10, 15 years that has pro-tier representation. Our kids grace the world stages, Taylor Carrollison, um, Jude Williams, David Adams, the list is endless.
Yeah.
Um, what we currently, the idea is to get darts integrated at school sports level. So the kids, probably in about 2, 3 years, would only be playing darts on a league and a competitive basis at schools level. Currently, they still play with us at our associations.
Right.
So we encourage the learners at the respective schools to join up with a club, register with a club,
Yeah. Yeah.
in order for them, if they have the potential to get provincial colors or national colors, then they are registered um, with
As
all
darts.
the affiliates, be it
Yeah.
district and national through DSA as well.
I'm assuming that at a school, when the kids are playing darts, they're going to be competing with each other at the school a bit. Are you also seeing that the schools are going to compete each other against each other, like maybe have little inter-schools competitions or so?
This coming Wednesday, the idea was started in Mitchell's Plain, but it's a Western Cape, and it's taken off tremendously. So if you look at the model that we use in Mitchell's Plain, um, where the whole of District South, all the schools has been invited this coming Wednesday, and there we're going to participate in team games, singles, and doubles on a competitive basis. And obviously, the first ever Dart Schools League in Africa, and probably uh, the first 10 in the world, is going to happen in Cape Town.
Wow, that's fantastic. And is there a specific format of competition that they're going to be playing? We know that you guys have got different darts competitions. I mean, the way that you play the games, you've got these 360s, and I'm no darts expert.
Yes, because we're dealing with kids, our players, there's highly qualified individuals that has graced the stages nationally and internationally in Cape Town, and they are quick to identify talent. So we have beginners, and we have kids that have just a natural ability with good hand and eye coordination.
Yeah.
We just lay the solid foundation for them. But yes, you're quite right. We play 501 singles competition, and then 701 doubles competition, and 1001 being a team competition. It would differ with the kids slightly. Probably in the initial stages for the first 3 months of competition, we'll turn it around from 501 to 301 being singles, from 701 being to 501, and then from 1001 to 701. But you'll soon find out that they have to revert back to the normal way of playing that the adults, the format the adults use, because kids,
Yeah.
we have an abundance of talent in Cape Town.
Alistair, let's wrap it up and just tell us next week, Wednesday, that's of course your first big event. Where will it be, and can people come and watch?
Yes, by all means. We enjoy the family preservation that the program offers. So next week, Wednesday, on the 4th of May, from 2 o'clock till 4 o'clock, the schools will be in action at the Portland Indoor Center in Portland, Mitchell's Plain. And yeah, I just want to take this opportunity to give a big thank you to the whole darts fraternity, Western Cape Darts Federation, Cape Town Darts, all its affiliates, and all the players, because the players are going to be instrumental this coming Wednesday of giving of themselves, investing of themselves in our kids at the different schools.
No, well, that's fantastic. Thanks, Alister. We'll leave it at that. Right, there we go, folks. Alister Porthen from Western Cape Darts. They've got a fantastic initiative there, 180 plus, where we now see darts being included in schools in the Western Cape. They're pioneering this, but it really is a great initiative. And as Alister said, if you want to go and watch, then on the 4th of May, that's next week, between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. at the Portland Indoor Centre in Mitchell's Plain, you can go and watch their first schools darts tournament, and this really is great stuff for darts in the Western Cape. And yeah, very exciting. We're looking forward to following the progress. We'll take a break. When we come back, we're carrying on talking sport in the province. Don't go away.